Hello Daria,
Hello,
it's good to
Vincent.
have you back on this new episode of Vindana. Today I'd like to discuss with you a tech company, Micron Technology, which is less known than NVIDIA or Intel. But could
Definitely.
you give us some insight on this company, please?
Yeah, definitely. We chose a Micron Technology because we were following in Vindana for some time right now in our portfolio. Micron Technology has been founded in 1978, so 45 years from now, right now, and it just began as a four-person startup in the dental office, in the basement of the dental office. And then it has been developed, and around 1980 there was the first factory plant that has been built in the native city where the story of Micron Technology has started. And by 1994 it has been developed in the industry, in the semiconductor industry that we know today. And so today, Micron Technology has the market share of 23% globally. It's shared between Samsung and Hynix, knowing that Samsung has almost twice the market share as Micron, so it's the leader, the third leader in the industry today.
Can you give us some more information about their business?
Yeah, definitely. So today, Micron is a memory and storage pure player. The main products called DRAM and NAND. So if we can just think about a little bit really simple, like we are not probably from tech world and not IT. People, if you're going to think about storage, so all the devices that we have today have a storage capacity. Let's imagine that you play the games, and today you're going to download, I don't know, like a normal game that have a size of 100 gigabytes. So what you're going to have, you're going to use your DRAM chip that is installed in your laptop, where it's going to be saved today your game or any other data. And NAND, we're gonna see it's like a flash chips, so it's something really simple and like let's say easy appliance. And this one chip we're gonna see in flash cards, we're gonna see it even in the electric vehicle and the stations, even in aerospace, in your phone. So the difference between two appliances is the speed. DRAM is something that is very speed, but let's say a little bit small regarding the memory, and NAND is something really simple but a little bit low in the speed. And if you're gonna see the let's say the weight in the Micron Technology today, there is 70% of the revenues that is devoted to DRAM chips, and the rest is NAND. So this is the main business.
Very interesting. Who are the main clients of the company?
Well, the clients is, let's say, it's all the tech clients that we know today. We speak about Apple, we speak about Dell, HP, we speak about NVIDIA, and there has been a big announce about that GPU of NVIDIA gonna be used Micron as well. It's been in the last year. So there is no, let's say, the main clients that gonna have the power on Micron Technology. But there is a small problem for Micron because there is no long-term contracts. So it's meaning that clients gonna order the products as it is, as they require. So it's really complicated to forecast the revenue stream and to know exactly what's gonna happen in the next year for Microns. So this is why we're gonna see probably some financial complexities that are gonna have Micron in a certain time.
Very good. Could you give us the main financial results of the company for last year, 2023?
Yeah, definitely. It's let's say speak about Micron first in the main numbers in order. So Micron's today is almost 138 billions in market cap. So it's kind of a big company. There is 43,000 employees that is working for Microns today. It exists in 17 countries and locations with the plants and the offices for the commercial part. Micron is basically producing and has its production in Asia, mainly in Singapore, in Taiwan, in Japan. Last year they opened India for the test and fabrication plant. And right now they're focusing on having plants in the United States.
Maybe a word on the management, on the top management of the company?
I think that right now we have a tendency in the United States to have a tech company managed by people from different countries, and where I have my respect to Sanjay Mehrotra. Maybe pronouncing it's not really well. But Sanjay is really a CEO for since 2017 for the company, and he has a big experience in the industry. And basically, he co-founded SanDisk Corporation and he was a CEO of SanDisk between 2011 2016, and then he got the role in the Micron Technology since 2017. I have to say that he also has 70 patents in the field. He has a PhD also. That is very, I think, encouraging and interesting as a person and also a specialist in the company.
I've heard that there is a ban in China for some of the products of the company.
Yes, it's actually a really good point, because what happened actually in 2023, in May 2023, the CEO of the company of Micron Technology announced that they're going to be a high risk of losing 50% of the revenues. This is actually what happened. Gross margin was negative, and it was negative for 4 quarters in a row. It was a complicated year for Micron Technology.
Clear. Is the overstocking period over?
Definitely. There is almost 8 billion of stock today. It's kind of a huge amount for Micron Technology. And it was accumulating since almost the first quarter of 2023. So there was a long period of accumulation. And definitely there is a risk on that. And it's also on the investor point of view to see how it's going to be, the position going to change. But today the stocks are really high, and the highest level for all history of the company.
Okay. What are the next steps for the company?
In 2023, company has really had a negative impact on the financial statements and also in all the inventory positions. And the problem was in the ban of China regulatory in Asia, but there was also several problems as, for example, we had a slowdown of the economy after pandemic crisis, where a company already accumulated the inventory. And what happened is that by 2023, the big companies has already stocked. So that's why Micron Technology accumulated their stock. There was also the problem of the 5G change. So the change has stopped around 2023, and there was slowdown regarding the 5G implementation infrastructure. And of course, there was severe concurrence from Samsung Hynix for DRAM and with other companies for NAND. So let's say that 2023 was complicated, but it's over right now. And for the future perspective, and what we saw also on 21st of March, when Sanjay has presented the big plans for the company, we have generative AI that is coming in the next years and is developing right now. And it's already confirmed that 2024 has been fulfilled with all the supplies, meaning that AI is giving really a boost for company, and 2024 is going to be a little bit different than the previous year. So there is generative AI that is going to definitely be needing in all the data centers and the cloud services. We're going to needing more and more storage. So there is no doubt that there is going to be a big boost on that. And for example, Hynix, the Korean competitor, is saying that they're going to be 82% of increase of the demand for the storage for the DRAM chips by 2027. So we somewhere
we are at the beginning of a new cycle, probably.
In the cycle, yeah, exactly.
Very
So
good.
it's we will see, and also we will see for the PC, for the laptops, and for our telephones, in case if they're gonna be the change for AI generation, that we're gonna have a new AI laptops. So for sure we're gonna see all the opportunities that is gonna be open for Micron Technology.
Very good. A few words on the results of the second quarter.
Yeah, it was actually a really interesting part for us, and the announcement was made on 21st of March for the quarter that finishing on 23rd of February 2024, with almost 6 billion of revenues in for the last quarter. It was much more than it has been expected. The expectation was around 5 billion and free. So in the first time we saw the turnaround where the negative margin for the gross, even from the gross profit, turned to the positive one. So the positive margin was around 18% and a half. Operating margin was around only 3%. So there is still the way to go. And the net result was around 13%, and it was really close to zero. If we're gonna speak about the balance sheet, the balance sheet was really healthy. The generation of the retained earnings and the capital is really healthy, has a healthy position for today. Regarding the asset side, the proportion is taken by the PPE, by the properties, plant and equipment, represented by fabrication plants. Basically about the fabrication plants, really interesting news that in May, like 2 weeks ago, in the beginning of May, the US government granted 6 billion to Micron Technology. There was all the Joe Biden and the president and all the administration celebrating this at this point to Micron Technologies that is granted for the fabrication of the plants, 2 plants, one in New York and one in the native city of Micron Technology. There is a really concentration of Micron Technology on really in the production plants, and this is what we see actually in the balance sheet. Of course, it's contradictory a little bit of the accumulated inventories, but somehow the situation is healthy. Net debt since 2023, the cash burn is kind of significant, and the net debt is around 5 billions. If you're gonna look at the cash flow numbers, free cash flow is still negative today. So there is still the progress to make in the next quarters. Cash flow from operating activities is going up with around 2 billions.
So in conclusion, what could you advise us on this value in terms of for stakeholders?
It's a little bit good question, and I think that I just want to explain you how what happened with Micron Technology for us in Vindana. We were following Micron Technology from the beginning of the year and knowing that 2023 was really hard for them. And we saw the positive signs in the beginning of the year, 2024, with the first quarter that was posted. And then this, let's say, transition and turnaround was confirmed by the result posted in
March.
March, by the end of March. We saw that the revenue was, well, let's say, skyrocketed to 5 billion 8, knowing that the expectation was around 5 billion and 3. So there was a big, let's say, success for the second quarter of the year. The profit became finally positive. The gross margin became finally positive. Still, it is 18% comparing to the 47% in 2022, the same quarter. So there is still a progress to make. So our vision is that Micron Technology today is an turnaround point. It is still not as good as it was in 2022 and even in 2018 if we're gonna compare with the KPIs. So for us, it's the, let's say, a long-term stock, and it's long-term vision for us in the portfolio. And basically, I think that we have to watch it closely and to see how it's going to happen, what's going to happen for the third quarter, knowing that CEO of the company promised the good results for 2024, more than expected in the beginning of the year, with the improving margin. So he's saying that the first focus is in the margin improvement. I think it's really good, let's say, quality KPI position. And we haven't even our portfolio since the turnaround, and we are watching closely, and maybe we're going to explain you a little bit soon what's going to happen in next quarter for Micron Technologies.
Very good. Thank you very much for this insight on Micron, Taya,
Thank
and
you.
see you very soon on Vindana.
Thank you.